The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke.
Glory to you, O Lord.
The whole assembly then rose and they brought him before Pilate. They began their accusation by saying, "We found this man inciting our people to revolt, opposing payment of tribute to Caesar and claiming to be Christ or King." Pilate put to him this question, "Are you the king of the Jews?" He replied, "It is you who say it." Pilate then said to the chief priest and the crowd, "I find no case against this man." But they persisted. He is inflaming the people with his teaching all over Judea. It has come all the way from Galilee, where he started down to here. When Pilate heard this, he asked if the man were a Galilean, and finding that he came under Herod's jurisdiction, he passed him over to Herod, who was also in Jerusalem at that time. Herod was delighted to see Jesus. He had heard about him and had been wanting for a long time to set eyes on him. Moreover, he was hoping to see some miracle worked by him. So he questioned him at some length, but without getting any reply. Meanwhile, the chief priests and the scribes were there violently pressing their accusations. Then Herod, together with his guards, treated him with contempt and made fun of him. He put a rich cloak on him and sent him back to Pilate. And though Herod and Pilate had been enemies before, they were reconciled that same day. Pilate then summoned the chief priest and the leading men and the people. He said, "You brought this man before me as a political agitator. Now I have gone into the matter myself in your presence and found no case against this man in respect of all the charges you bring against him. Nor has Herod either, since he has sent him back to us. As you can see, the man has done nothing that deserves death. So I shall have him flogged and then let him go." But as one man they howled, "Away with him! Give us Barabbas!" This man had been thrown into prison for causing a riot in the city and for murder, and that was Barabbas. Pilate was anxious to set Jesus free and address them again, but they shouted back, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" And for the third time he spoke to them, "Why? What harm has this man done? I have found no case against him that deserves death, so I shall have him punished and then let him go." But they kept on shouting at the top of their voices, demanding that he should be crucified. And their shouts were growing louder and louder. Pilate then gave his verdict. Their demand was to be granted. He released the man they asked for, who had been imprisoned for rioting and murder, and handed Jesus over to them to deal with as they pleased. As they were leading him away, they seized on a man, Simon from Cyrene, who was coming in from the country, and made him shoulder the cross and carry it behind Jesus. Large numbers of people followed him, and of women too, who mourned and lamented for him. But Jesus turned to them and said, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not cry for me. Cry rather for yourself and for your children. For the days will surely come when people will say, 'Happy are those who are barren, the wombs that have never borne, the breasts that have never suckled.' Then they will begin to say to the mountains, 'Fall on us,' to the hills, 'Cover us.' For if men use the green woods like this, what will happen when it is dry?" Now with him they were also leading out two other criminals to be crucified. When they reached the place called the Skull, the Golgotha, they crucified him there, and the two criminals also, one on the right, the other on the left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, they do not know what they are doing." They then cast lots to share out his clothing. The people stayed there watching him. As for the leaders, they made mockery at him, saying, "He saved others, let him save himself if he is the Christ of God, the chosen one. The soldiers mocked him too. When they approached to offer him vinegar, they said, "If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself." Above him there was an inscription, "This is the King of the Jews." One of the criminals hanging there abused him, saying, "Are you not the Christ? Save yourself and us as well." But the other spoke up and rebuked him, "Have you no fear of God at all? You got the same sentence as he did. But in our case, we deserved it. We are paying for what we did. But this man has done nothing wrong." Jesus, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus replied, "Indeed, I promise you, today you will be with me in paradise." It was now about the 6th hour, and with the sun eclipsed, a darkness came over the whole land until the 9th hour. The veil of the temple was torn right down the middle, and when Jesus had cried out in a loud voice, he said, "Father, into your hands I commend my spirit." With these words, he breathed his last. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise be to you, O Lord Jesus Christ.
Last night, when I was praying over this whole Passion Palm Sunday, I was reflecting as to what I'm going to share with you all. And I was quite inspired by one particular thing, and that thing was faith. We all live in fear. We need to be liberated from this fear. As a result, we need that interior and exterior freedom from fear. To travel from fear to freedom, there is only one thing that can sustain us, and that thing is a journey of faith. Journey of faith. And for that, I need to go back, as I was inspired by the Spirit to speak to you all. Before even Jesus was born, the Messiah was born, the prophet Isaiah says, "The Prince of Peace," the one who is going to come will be the Prince of Peace, the wonderful Counselor. When Jesus was born, definitely the angels first went to those ordinary shepherds and told them, "Glory to God in the highest, and peace to his people on earth," because the Prince of Peace is born. Well, in his lifetime, Jesus told several times about this gift of peace. He's saying that, "I will give you the peace, and the peace that the world will not give, my peace will live with you forever." And that was not the end, but after the resurrection, when the risen Lord starts appearing to the disciples, the first thing that he utters from his mouth every time he appears is, "Peace be with you." Imagine, we are looking forward to the resurrection, to the Easter Sunday, but all of us are also frightened like those disciples. Those disciples were feeling guilty because they had deserted Jesus. They were feeling frightened that if this is the state of the Messiah, our Master, what will happen to us? So they were really frightened, they were depressed, they were sad that the Master was nowhere now after the death. What is going to happen? They were anxious, they were uncertain about the future, because future was very scary, very frightening, and they were filled with sadness and fear. And what they needed at that particular moment was nothing but peace. And there the risen Lord appears from the closed room. He appears and says, "Peace be with you." You are depressed. Why are you depressed? You are sad. Why are you sad? You are frightened. Why are you frightened? You are feeling guilty. Why are you feeling guilty? I am there with you till the end of the ages, because I was called the wonderful Counselor, the Prince of Peace, and Emmanuel. Emmanuel is God. He is with you forever. Why are you scared? Why are you depressed? So Palm Sunday, what we call? The palm, the olive branch, olive palm in then, and now we have coconut palm, maybe whatever, but symbolizing peace. The Prince of Peace is entering Jerusalem. Jerusalem may be our temple of our heart. The Prince of Peace wants to enter there today on this Palm Sunday to assure you, why are you depressed? Why are you sad? Why are you frightened? I am with you. So when you raise that palm, not just at the head level we say, Prince of Peace, holy, holy, blessed is the name of the Lord who is coming in His name. No, more than that is at the heart level to say, Prince of Peace is entering this Jerusalem, that is my heart, my spirit, my body, which is the temple of God. Well, all of us need peace. Very often, the simple thing that we lose in our life is peace. We may have amassed wealth, we may have cars, we may have all the latest and modern gadgets, we may have a wonderful family, but the first or basic thing that we lose is peace. And you want to know the reasons why we lose peace very often? Because very often either we are governed by the past guilt, the baggage that we carry for years. Thank God you had inner healing where you have left your baggage and the parcel that you have been carrying for the years to the Lord for healing. But more than that, we are frightened and we lose peace because we look forward. We look forward to the future in fear. The very cause of losing peace is fear. We have two approaches to look towards our future. Either we can look with fear or we can look to the same future with faith. One is a positive energy flowing from God, the other is a negative energy flowing from the evil. You choose. If you choose fear, you will be depressed, sad and guilty. If you choose faith, you will be bubbling with joy, bubbling with enthusiasm, bubbling with energy, bubbling with that fullness of life, the abundance of life. What you choose, remote control is in your hand. You, if you are at the channel of fear, change it to the channel of God, the Prince of Peace, and He will give you that peace. Well, the approaches that are two, which are fear and faith, I want to elaborate on that. Fear. Fear will tell you, you are good for nothing. If your past was bad, future is also you are not going to achieve anything. You just cannot do anything. You are useless. That is what the fear will tell you about your future. Whereas faith will tell you, my dear daughter, my dear son, you are precious as you are. God loves you as you are. God accepts you. If God was with you right throughout in your past, God will continue to walk with you, holding your hand, embracing you. He will welcome you and He will see you through all the storms in your life. Fear will tell you, be negative, think negative, imagine negative, make a movie of your future in a very, very negative way. Whereas the faith will tell you, my dear child, think of positive energy of God. Think of the Pentecost. Think of the courage. Think of the grace and blessings flowing through you and in you from God, the Father, Son and the Holy Spirit. Fear will keep you pessimistic, whereas fear will make you pessimistic, whereas faith will always keep you optimistic. Fear will tell you everything is impossible. Faith will tell you nothing is impossible to God. And God will work, and if you and God work together, nothing is impossible to God. Whereas fear will always tell you, you will remain permanently in this state. Whereas faith will tell you, no matter what the crisis is, no matter what the storm is, it is going to pass, it is not going to last, it is not permanent, it is a temporary thing. It is like a fog or a dew that you see in the morning. You find how I'm going to see future. It's misty, but then suddenly you realize, in the midst of darkness, in the midst of that fog, the sun somewhere shines. And the moment sun shines, this fog evaporates and goes away, and you can see your future clearly, walking towards the shining sun. Our sun is shining, ever shining. Our sun, Jesus Christ, will never say, He's shining. In the midst of the darkness that you see, in the midst of the evil that you see, our sun will continue to shine and will continue to shine till the end of the ages. We have a choice, fear or faith. If you are governed by fear, we lose our freedom. If we are governed by fear, we lose our peace. And why should we losing our peace when we are supposed to be in the Lord? When we are supposed to be that ambassador of peace? My dear brothers and sisters, I want to give you several examples how our life is governed by fear most of the time. You examine your life at the end of the day and see 70% of our life or of the day or of the month is governed by fear and not faith. So many doubts come. Fear. Maybe if you are a young boy or a girl, fear is of the exam. That is again future. If you are a young boy or girl, fear is about your job security. If you are a man or a woman who is married, a family man, fear of the financial security. If you are a parent, the fear of how your children will behave in future as a teenager, as a child, and as a college-going student, or whatever when they are married, whether they will live with us or whether they will discard us and they will go somewhere else. All this, if you see, 70 to 80% of our time, whether a young boy or an old man, always we are governed by fear. All the health issues. I tell you, last 2-3 days, I went through tremendous battle. Why I am sharing with you this? The fear and faith, because I experienced in the last week. I went for my regular medical checkup after many years. I went because, not that I was sick, absolutely alright, by the grace of God, but I said let me go and have a checkup because last 7-8 years I have not gone for any checkup, so let me see. I went for the medical checkup, all the reports were normal except one element, and that one element was LGBT, something to do with liver. And the first question, I am coming from Goa, last 7 months I was in Goa. The first question that doctor asked is, do you drink? And I was shocked. I was shocked because in my life, not to boast, but in my life, I have never touched alcohol. The first time maybe I tasted wine was when I celebrated the Mass. And I was shocked that doctor asked me that question because something to do with liver. Guys, priest is coming from Goa. Could be because of drinks. When I said no, then doctor had to do a bacterial test to see why that particular element is high. Is it because of jaundice, a beginning of jaundice or whatever. So then doctor asked me to do all those tests. I did, but I tell you that night I couldn't sleep. Because doctor asked me to do hepatitis B, hepatitis C, if you know what it is so scary, so frightening. And say, oh my, what is going to happen? You know, I am a young priest, I have to serve the Lord for so long, and what is going to happen to me? I'll be dependent on the others. And then also in a few days time, I have to go to Spain to attend one course. So that anxiety, that worry, and that literally put me down. Till I knew my report, I was bubbling with joy, enthusiasm, energy. And the moment I was sent for the test, for 24 hours, I was like a sick man, completely down. What happened to that energy? It's nothing but that psychological, mental stress and fear. I literally couldn't sleep. And God was telling me again and again, hey, what is happening to you? What's up? I mean, what is happening to you? Are you a man of lack of faith? And this is where this homily has come from, that particular thing, that battle that we go through, faith and fear. And finally, all my reports are normal. Only thing that has happened is something called fatting infiltration of the liver. Meaning, I had to take rest. That could happen because of overexertion. So I need to take rest for a few days. I was supposed to give you talks last night and today, but I requested Derek to take that because I need to rest. And secondly, I have to avoid, red meat. So maybe Goa, too much of sausages and beef. And giving me this example as a personal testimony, that's it. If God is with us, nothing can really be scary. We will have storms. Crosses is part of our life. I am not saying if God is with us, we will never fall sick. No. We may fall sick, but God will see us through if we have confidence and total trust in God. My dear brothers and sisters, when we see a baby, we tell the parents, wow, what a cute baby, what a nice baby. But wait, when the baby becomes 2-year-old, it will be terrible 2-year baby. We tell them, we put a lot of fear. And parents will get really scared. Oh my, really, I'm waiting for that terrible 2. When the child becomes 2, he'll be really terrible. And that message is passed on to that baby. Instead of that, if parents say, no, he or she won't be a terrible baby, but he or she will be terrific baby. Makes a difference. One coming from faith, one coming from fear. Or when you have children, till tension of, oh my son is so nice, he's so obedient and all that. But father, I'm so scared, what is going to happen after he or she begins the college life, he might get into bad habits and this and that. And that message is picked up by your young son and young daughter throughout from you, throughout those preaching that goes on at home, nagging that goes on at home. And things come from fear. Can you give the positive message to your child and says, my child will continue to walk the values that he has got, she has got from the parents. See the difference. So this whole reflection I'm giving what has come to me from my prayer. So my dear brothers and sisters, I give you one story. For example, a story meaning it's something that happened. There was an officer always bubbling with joy, always happy, always he gives his testimony somewhere, and he's always bubbling with joy, happy, enthusiastic. Always when he enters, people will say, wow, what a man, what keeps him so happy, serene and peaceful. One day, all of them, he was the top officer there, all of them, right from the watchman till the last person he meets when he entered the office, decided to play a trick, play a prank on him. As soon as he entered, watchman, saluted him and said, good morning, sir. And he said, good morning. Sir, are you not well? And he said, no, I am all right. And he just passed by. Then there was a receptionist, good morning, sir. And he says, good morning. Sir, you look so haggard, didn't you sleep well? And he says, I am all right. But this man already started thinking that something is wrong. Watchman told me, receptionist told me. And as he started passing cabins, he was told by several people, sir, what is happening to you? You look so weak. You're pulled down. Something is wrong with you. Are you sick?